I'm Groot. There we go.
Cool.
Done a discussion.
Cool.
Alright, so we have a special guest today.
Hi.
Her name is Sarah Passos, a very good friend of ours. I'm working on a web series currently with her. That should be out soon. Yeah, we're here today. We're just talking about Infinity War. We all hated it.
No, we didn't.
No, we didn't. We all loved it.
I think even if someone would watch this and would want to hate it, they just couldn't.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
Because there was too much to enjoy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like basically, like, yes, okay, fair enough. There was like a whole like 18 film build up to this, but it's so worth it in every single way.
It was. I'm still slightly bothered by the Age of Ultron after credit scene where he puts on the Infinity Gauntlet and says, "Oh, do it myself," and then he sits down for 3 years and does nothing. But that was Age of Ultron, which is regarded to be the worst Marvel film in the cinematic universe.
Here's the thing, you don't know
Is
though.
it 3 years though?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, but still, you make the audience wait 3 years.
It is basically the way you can tell is because at some point Iron Man remarks that Thanos has been in his head for 6 years, which is since Avengers happened. And that was in 2012. So
Yeah.
he's a busy man, guys. He's got lots to do.
Yeah, sitting on his
You know,
throne.
CGI on him.
Well, that's
To be
fair.
fair, did you guys catch the Easter egg? I think one of us talked about it. I think we may have talked about it, where it was like, Gamora goes, "I've always hated that throne," and Thanos goes, "I know." That's actually the guys who wrote it calling out to the Marvel fan base, going, "We know you hate it because we
no, I
teased
didn't
it."
say that because I didn't
And
know that.
because that's the thing, Marvel fans obviously hated him doing nothing for like 6 years, and then they call out saying, "Yeah, we know you hated it." But
Yeah.
now look, he's finally doing something.
I like the film better now
Yeah.
because it's the little things that make it better.
Yeah.
But like, what I wanted to say is we don't actually know if he's actually sat down and not done anything for 3 years
Yeah.
because.
Well, to be fair,
we don't know when he went to Xandar.
yeah, I actually was about to say that. Poor Xandar, they don't even get screen time.
No.
It's like, what about Xandar?
Nah.
What? Xandar. No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Going-
cares?
Yeah, no one cares.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Novacore. What?
They were a very good people. Were? Yeah, were. I will say, I like the fact that the film does just throw you straight into it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the really good thing. It doesn't bother building up like, oh, here's the heroes and this is what they're doing. It's like, nah, Thanos is no more build up. We're going straight forward. It's like, yes. That's
I like
good.
the pace of it as well.
Yeah, the pace was
Because
good.
I thought in the beginning that they would, obviously they had already announced it was going to be 2 films and all that, and I kind of expected them to, the first film to be like him chasing the stones, and then the big fight would be for the second one. And I like that they just packed it all in there.
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Because I think it was the really good thing. Because my biggest complaint about the Marvel Cinematic Universe at this point is, first off, there have been no stakes. No one has died.
Well, no one important.
No one important. Quicksilver died, but once again,
Nobody really cares.
he didn't get any development or anything whatsoever. So people finally died, and more importantly, the heroes lost. And the thing is, I was thinking, well, they're probably almost all of them are going to come back to life. Maybe not all, but most of them are.
Yeah.
At least the heroes did lose, so it does raise the stakes. Thinking, okay, like at this point they've lost. Like there are no more stakes that they haven't won. So
Yeah.
the ones that didn't kind of fade away probably really died.
yeah,
Although Gamora in the comics, she comes back. But I think the way they put it in the films, it would be really hard to bring her back.
They can do it because the way they kind of portrayed it looks like she's trapped in the Soul Stone still, like as in child form because Thanos wants it that way.
Yeah.
that's the fondness of her. I guess you remember.
Also, I read earlier today a theory that someone said that potentially like the end shot with Thanos like sitting down with the sunset is potentially in a pocket reality in the Soul Stone because
That would be interesting, and then
Because
Gamora
that's
as a kid
yeah.
there, and yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
So who do you think really died?
I think
Loki and Heimdall. No,
Loki
No,
and
but
Heimdall.
that's it?
No, that's the thing. Because
there's more people.
I
who died,
still
though.
speculate in the second film we are going to get deaths that will be more permanent.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who they are this time, but I suspect we will get maybe 2 other deaths that will actually be permanent. And
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me if they did flip it once again and actually have it this time be Iron Man and Captain America. Because it could be a good thing where if it, like they did the whole flipping where it's like Cap and Iron Man survive, Cap watches Bucky die, Iron Man holds Spider-Man in his arms as he dies, and then they flip it and Spider-Man holds Iron Man and Bucky watches Cap die. It could be a really powerful moment where they do it like that, perhaps, but who knows.
Something like that.
But
and then Bucky picks up the shield.
And he's like, I.
That is the question that everybody keeps asking.
The thing is,
who is Captain
For some reason, everyone I talk to about this, no one wants this. I do want it, because it would feel kind of good at this.
It feels like
I don't
full
like
circle.
Bucky. But then again, I don't like Captain America, so I don't mind.
Well, there you go.
I think that's just the idea of it being full circle is a good idea.
Yeah.
And also, actually, on the note of all the character deaths, so I saw an article, not an article, it was an article that had like a link to James Gunn's Twitter, who is the director of the first, second, and third Guardians of the Galaxy films. Third one's still yet to come. So, some of them are probably still going to be alive.
Oh yeah, I mean, what's a Guardians film without Groot, is it?
Yeah, and he confirmed what Groot said to Rocket just as he died in Infinity War, and when he says, I'm Groot, he translates saying, Dad. I know.
Feeling.
I know, it's really fucking grim stuff when you look. Now I want to go back and find out what We Are Groot means. Does it really just mean We Are Groot? Or does
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've read recently they made this article about the differences in the comic books and in the films, but more as in the differences in how cruder and more intense it is in the comic book.
Yeah.
And they say that actually Groot wasn't always that nice, and they wanted to kind of conquer planets and etc. And then basically something happens to their vocal cords that they kind of fade away, and the only thing they can say is I am Groot.
That's true, because when Groot was introduced in the comics, he was actually able to speak full sentences.
Yeah. Which is really sad, because in a way you think like, I am Groot, oh that's cute. No, it's not, it's a disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's the thing. In the comics, Star-Lord is a horrible person.
Oh,
not horrible. Yeah. Well, he does he does a lot of stuff that makes you go, ooh, okay.
And Gamora's sister's torture is a lot worse than that.
Oh yeah, and like that's the thing as well. Like
he kind of melts her.
Yeah, the comics in both Marvel and DC never they're not PG stuff. They get really grim and gruesome.
People are not ready for that.
I mean, for God's sake, you look at like things like in Injustice, where Superman, where you actually get a panel where he puts his arm through Joker's chest and rips out his heart, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, but like that plus the thought that it's Superman doing that, and you're going like, my Superman would never do that.
Superman is a good person. Not this time, bitch.
But we have to be practical in a sense that a lot of the audience is
families
young
and kids,
and they do not want to.
Well, you don't want to scar.
There was a big discussion about the Marvel series on Netflix about how they're darker and etc. And there were a lot of the half of the fans were really happy, like finally something for us, but half of the fans are like, no, you can't do that. What about the kids? It's like,
well,
sorry, kids.
Well, half the Marvel fans are just wrong.
But the problem is half the fans do pay to go to the cinema. So
that's true.
That's where it gets like, we have to take that into consideration, guys.
Exactly.
The thing is, that's the dark side of films that are produced by Disney, is that Disney is very conscious of its main demographic, which is the people who will ultimately go out and buy the merchandise.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, there's a lot of adults who buy toys, but it's mostly kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
can't really melt Gamora's sister and make her look like dead.
Yeah.
When I'm done, half of humanity will still exist.
So I guess now we should get into the fact that Captain Marvel is showing, and just the future of them all. I was always very excited for Captain Marvel because I think he's a really good
and Brie
hero.
Larson, yes.
I, however, have noticed that basically she is the Green Lantern of the Marvel Universe, and she is named Carol, just like Hal Jordan's girlfriend in DC, Carol. So I was like, that's.
It's more to it, though.
Yeah, it's more to it. She actually, well, to be fair, Carol in DC has powers now, but that's besides the point. But anyway, so I'm very excited to see her on screen. Very excited to see what she can do.
And you know that the original Captain Marvel is going to be in it as well. I think.
Yeah, Marvel.
Law.
Marvel, because like that's his actual name.
It's
like Mar-Vel.
It's like you set up a comic book company and you go like, okay, how are we going to call a superhero? Marvel? Nah, that's a bit much. Marvel. Yes, that's
We
the
could
thing.
do
It's
that.
kind of like, what are we going to name, like, our main
Yeah.
series of, like, the greatest vigilante? Shall we call him Detective Comic Man? No, that's too on the nose. Batman. We'll name the comic book series Detective Comics, though, after us.
Yeah, but also like when they made Captain Marvel, I always think to myself like, didn't they knew that Captain Marvel already existed?
Yeah.
Which currently known as Shazam.
Yeah.
So, but they won that lawsuit somehow.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I have no idea. It might be because, I think, it might have been two things. DC probably ended up just giving up on it and saying, yeah, they can have
Yeah.
it. And secondly, it's probably them going, Shazam is actually a better name. I prefer Shazam over Captain Marvel.
I don't
Yeah.
think any of them, DC or Marvel, they have ever been really good with names.
No.
You
Well,
know,
to be
the
fair,
whole
We have a whole episode about not just bad superheroes, but also their names are not particularly good.
No, because that's the thing, you would never get away, because like this thing, Superman and Batman were created, and Wonder Woman, all these heroes were created during the 1930s and 40s when there was a war on and people needed something to sort of lighten the mood.
Yeah.
And that's what these heroes were for.
Yeah, so you need
You
Super
would never
and
get
Wonder.
away with someone going up going, I want to create a superhero. Yeah? It's going to be called Superman, and everyone would just go, is it a parody? No. No, then, no, we're not doing that.
But even their like real names, there are a lot of jokes online about how they have the same letter in the first name and surname. Peter Parker, Matt Murdock, and everything. It's like, yeah. Do you have anything else to add to these names
Yeah.
or to these?
I don't mind that though. I think it kind of creates kind of an atmosphere of how kind of like the stories can get serious, but it's also kind of a testament to how not real these stories are and how like it's
Yeah.
still a fantasy world in the end.
Yeah, I don't mind it, but I saw one explanation that I don't know if it's true, but basically Stan Lee said once that it was easy to remember, and I don't like that part.
Well,
To be
You
fair,
know?
it's probably a simple...
It's like, that's all you have to give us,
To be
really.
fair, it's probably a similar logic. It's like, we have Batman, Superman. What are we going to name their parents? We're going to have it be Thomas for Bruce Wayne's parents, father that is, and then Jonathan. You have very strong name. What are we going to name the mothers? Martha. For which one? Both. Why? I can't bother to have another one.
Yeah.
We've already, put a lot of thought into the
Yeah.
father figures, which are more important. So,
well,
And if you think about the names, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Superman, Batman, it's like,
very
Wonder
descriptive
Woman.
of what they are.
The Flash. I mean, that was just, if you've ever seen Supergirl in the show, I know this is very, we're going to be off topic, we'll get back on it shortly.
Sure.
But in Supergirl, it's great when Flash crosses over into that universe and he meets Cat Grant and she's kind of like, what are we going to call him? And he's like, why do we call him the Flash? It's like, what, is he going to be some guy wandering around in a trench coat in the middle of the night flashing people? No, we're not calling him that. It's like,
can you imagine Flashman?
Flashman. What? No, no.
And he's just holding a torch.
Oh god.
I'll flash him.
Yeah, there you go. Click, click, click.
That's a
and then
P-
runs away.
PG-13 version.
There
The
you go.
torch.
Yeah.
Oh god. Too many.
But
The mental images.
yeah. All right, now back on topic about all this. Let's talk about the sequel first for Infinity War. First off, do we have any ideas on what it's going to be called? Because it's probably not going to be called Avengers 4.
I saw a lot of things about that on the internet. A lot of people are saying it should be called Avengers Endgame. I think that's a stupid name.
No,
I think
it
should
sounds
be
too much
called,
like X-Men Final Stand or Last
Yeah.
Stand, whatever. Which
it
we all know
predicts
how
a
that
horrible
turned out.
film with a horrible film name. I'd say call it Avengers Reassembled, because you know how the first one is called Avengers Assemble in the UK.
No.
So Reassembled because they're coming back together to fight Thanos and defeat him. Also, maybe this is kind of a contradictory name because obviously Avengers 4 is the last Avengers film we're ever going to get in this universe. So, in that sense, maybe that's not a very good name. Still,
Like, that's
you
the
know.
thing, because like I think them saying it's going to be the last Avengers film ever, it's going to be possibly lead to them
In this universe.
Yeah, in this universe, it might lead to them shooting themselves in the foot. Because if they end up saying, okay, Cap and Iron Man are gone, but Captain Marvel's the new leader of a new team, everyone's like, yeah, we're going to get to it. It's like, no, you're not. That's the team, but you're not going to ever see it again. It's like, what was the point of introducing us to this team then? It's like, well,
it's
because
not
we
necessarily
wanted
that.
to.
I think they're gonna call it like New Avengers or something like that. There's always a loophole.
Yeah, okay.
There's always a loophole. But
Alright, yeah.
but so like the Avengers, like the as in like
classic Avengers.
classic Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor and all that.
That probably
That's
means they're going
over.
to do a second Civil War arc. They probably at some point. With
I'd
Captain
like-
Marvel.
It would
I'd
be
like to see that,
a
but that's
waste.
Captain Marvel against
would-
someone.
No, I mean, it would be a waste to have all this build up and all these films. They said, okay, we're not doing that anymore. Let's just start again. So
Yeah.
I agree with that. They're probably going to have a new team getting
Yeah.
together. And
they are, because they kind of want to finish a couple of stories off, just so we have some closure with a couple of stories. Because at the end of the day, you know, these actors want to do other things as well. You know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, I have to, as a filmmaker, I have to put the money thing on the table again. At the same time, they have to be very careful because, for example, we had this majorly successful film of Black Panther. It would be just stupid to say, okay, now he died, we're going to start again. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Concerning they already have like 2 more planned as well. Same with Spider-Man. Spider-Man Homecoming 2 comes out next year.
And there is another
really?
one.
Yeah. So next
okay.
year, if you don't know, the next year's lineup of Marvel films is going to be, first off will be Captain Marvel, followed by Avengers 4, then Spider-Man Homecoming, which will be like the last film of that year, and then it will go into, I think, probably next year will probably be Black Panther 2, and then probably 2 other movies I can't think.
There should be Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Yeah, that will be 2020 as well.
Yeah.
Then. And then probably maybe another Ant-Man film, possibly. Or,
Another Ant-Man.
Yeah, or no,
Well, we
no,
have
not
the
another Doctor
Wasp
Strange.
this
Yeah,
year.
no, it will be another Doctor Strange film then.
Because it's kind of a waste as well of like Baron Mordo, just not.
Yeah, it'll be Doctor Strange.
Where was he as well? Like, I kind of want him to show up in Ant-Man and the Wasp now for the sake of him doing something.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a waste to just go like, I will fix everything now, and he's just gone.
Yeah.
If anything, I mean, obviously have him side with Thanos, that's perfectly fine, but at least have him like,
Yeah.
because he's always been a bitch of a higher power, so.
Where was Ant-Man, by the way?
He was dealing with his own. They kind of somewhat gloss over it, saying.
Yeah.
I guess the thing is, in the end, they basically say, "Oh, he's under house arrest at the moment." Blah blah blah.
No, his family is.
His family. So he's gone over back to the States to deal with that. So he's gone under because I suspect the way Ant-Man and the Wasp will begin is him being put under house arrest.
Yeah.
Basically, I think as we were somewhat talking about over like lunch at one point, saying that the way we think Ant-Man and the Wasp will end is literally where basically people start disappearing.
Yeah.
I suspect that's basically where Ant-Man and the Wasp is going to end. And
probably Hank Pym.
yeah, Hank Pym will probably disappear.
And maybe Ant-Man himself as well.
Yeah, either Ant-Man himself or his daughter, I suspect, would disappear. Because it'd be like a real gut punch if he watched his own daughter.
And then the original Wasp is like, okay, I'm going to save people now.
Yeah, she's like, alright, we're going to have 2 Wasps and 1 Ant-Man, that won't be confusing at all. And then once this is over, we'll have 2 Ant-Mans and 2 Wasps, and it will be even more confusing.
Is he in New York? I don't remember.
No, he's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco, okay.
And then Hawkeye's going to be in there somewhere as well.
Yeah, Hawkeye will be in Avengers 4. Because they're probably going to...
Yeah, but also in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Doing the same
I'm
he does
thinking-
in Avengers 3.
Yeah.
Basically.
What, jack shit?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically,
okay.
let's be honest. He'll be there just because... Because I think the thing is, oddly enough, I like Hawkeye in the other Avengers films simply because he's fairly comedic. Because the one part where I really like in Age of Ultron is where, like, Quicksilver comes and grabs Scarlet Witch and he runs off and you just see Hawkeye's like, just bring them together, so it'll be all real fun. He's just complaining as he's running towards the action. It's like,
I think that's the best film for him.
Yeah.
That he really
That,
is funny.
it's the worst.
Because the others, he's just
but he's
there.
Yeah.
It's like all these people doing really cool things, and he's like.
Even though he really sucks, yeah. It's like...
Oh, so in Avengers
He's
Assemble...
good at it, but.
No, he's good at shooting arrows, but like, everything else he absolutely sucks at. Of which, speeches. He really sucks at speeches because I don't know what got Scarlet Witch to come after him into the war after that. He's really bad at entertaining guests because he was basically, when they got to his home, he was like, okay, I'm going to be with my wife now, do whatever.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a wife. Yeah.
And a family.
Yeah, so
I never talk about
Who
it.
is a wonderful
Scarlet-
actress and
yeah.
gets like 2 minutes screen time. But
Yeah.
hey.
So like, you know, all of those fanboys who wanted me to be with Black Widow, here's Hulk. Enjoy.
Yeah.
By the way, nothing happened with that during Infinity War at all.
Nah.
Like there was
There
this
wasn't-
brief moment.
They
was
have
no
a
sun-
moment.
Yeah, they have a moment. They'll probably
It's
get...
like, oh, you're
Yeah.
here. Yeah, hi.
You're
anyway.
back, and you didn't say anything. Cool.
They're going to get probably
He
more
had been
time
back
in
for a
Avengers
short
4.
time, though.
Yeah, they're going to be back in
But
Avengers.
still.
They're going to have more moments in Avengers 4 because they're both still alive. And to be fair, Infinity War is a Thanos movie. I think most people
Probably.
kind of agree. If you look at who gets the most screen time, who has the clearest 3-act structure in terms of character arc, he is the one that... He is the protagonist of the film, oddly
Yeah.
enough. He's not the villain.
And that's why in the end they say Thanos will return.
Yeah.
True.
Like Doesn't matter the rest. We don't care, but he will be back.
I love Black Panther, but I was so annoyed at the very end where it's like Black Panther will return in Infinity War. I had went to see it in the cinema just before the film began. Got a trailer for Infinity War. Guess who was in it? I was like,
you don't say. You're fucking messing with, man.
I had no idea.
They should have said Winter Soldier will return.
That would have been.
That would have been better because like they did that at the end of Civil War as well, where they said Spider-Man will return. It's like one of the lesser characters, but like still.
Yeah, where he's not the.
Isn't that a bit obvious because the
It's-
after
yeah,
credit
obvious.
scene
To be fair.
is him
Yeah.
in Wakanda, so it's like,
to be
oh,
fair,
we're just gonna throw this in there, but he's not gonna be back.
I think it's fine to do it occasionally, but they
Baron
shouldn't do
Mordo
it
will
for.
return.
Yeah, they
Did
should
he
not.
though?
They should not do it in every movie. Like the
No.
Spider-Man in Civil War, it worked. It made sense because everyone's like, well, he gets his own movie or whatever. Like you got that sense. Whereas in Black Panther it was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue because I thought I was retarded. Thanks thanks Marvel Studios. I knew I was retarded.
Yeah.
Now it's been confirmed.
But thanks for making me wait for this one clue. You know?
Now I know.
Now I know.
But I must point out, because I was there, that you were curious to see what they're going to say in the end of Infinity War. If they were going to say if the Avengers are going to come back. I remember saying that.
Yeah,
And then we were quite happy to see Thanos will be back because he
I
keeps the
actually, in the
mystery
end,
in a way.
Well, in the end, I think it's good and it keeps the mystery. I was kind of expecting, to be fair, I was glad they didn't go with this direction because Captain Marvel got the after credits scene. I was kind of expecting like Captain Marvel will be in Avengers 4, but I'm kind of glad they didn't do that because
No.
she got her own after credits scene. It's like, yeah, it's
And
obvious.
she has her own movie.
Yeah,
so
she's
it would
getting
be
her
like,
own.
Well,
she will
you
be in
say-
Avengers 4, but actually we're going to see her before.
You say it was obvious though, but I remember like when I left the cinema, there were a lot of people around me who seemed very confused.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Although I have to
That's
say,
people for you.
Yeah, because I remember because we went to see Infinity War together, and I remember when we saw the after credits scene. It came up with once the after credits scene was done, I heard someone behind me say, "Well, that wasn't worth it." It was like I was very tempted.
I
to
heard
turn
the same
around-
thing.
I was
heard
very
the same
tempted to
thing.
turn around and go, "Do you even know who that is?"
Obviously not.
Yeah.
Everyone who said that did not know what they watched, to
'Cause
be
I
honest.
was
It's like,
fair-
oh, he sent a message. Oh, okay, was that worth it? It's like, do you even know what message he
'cause
sent
that's
and what
the
does
thing,
that
like,
mean?
If you turn back and go, I want them to go back and say, what were you expecting? Like the Avengers all to come together and Tony and Iron Man, Tony and Steve going, hey, how's it going? Good. Everyone's dead. Yeah. Alright, cool. And then it just ends and I'd be like, that would be boring. It's predictable.
They
Whereas
should
this
have
was
done.
good.
I'm a bit evil, and I think they should have done a post-credit scene like Deadpool's one, just like someone I don't know brushing their teeth.
Yeah.
And end of end credit scene is like that will teach you to complain about
Yeah. Or like
post-credit scenes.
Spider-Man, where it's like Captain America going like, sometimes patience deals a great hand. Sometimes it feels like you've waited for nothing.
Yeah.
Something like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Anyway,
Although we keep saying that, going back a little bit,
Yeah.
we keep saying that everybody died and blah blah blah. It was very, very powerful, but I don't think anybody died if we think about probably they're on the Sostam. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was they were powerful images. I like the way they did it and the reactions, but I don't think anyone's really dead.
Because I think the
Which is
thing is,
good and
Yeah.
bad at the same time.
I think the thing is as well, they got such great variety in terms of how they all died. You had Spider-Man dying in Iron Man's arms when he goes, "Oh, I don't want to die." You have, Groot saying, "Dad." It turns out you have, Bucky going, "Steve," and then just disappears. You have T'Challa helping up Okoye, and then he just sort of,
Yeah.
and then my
This is no
favorite.
place to die.
My favourite one, because it's actually just so brutal and actually really scarily realistic, is when War Machine is going through like the jungle
yeah.
and he's going, Sam, and Sam disappears without him even seeing it. I was like, that is so.
He will never
That
know.
is terrifying because you think he like it's because to die in that way where no one knows, but more importantly to think that there's someone still there. It's a scary thing to think about. I don't like thinking about it, but I always do.
Yeah, my favorite was Black Panther though, just because obviously
This
there
is
are
no
some
place to die.